We're live. We're live. Okay. Thank you guys so much for jumping on today. Robbie and I are both excited to be here. We're also a little bit nervous. I don't know why. I think because when you're making a video and you're videoing it beforehand, you can edit out the parts you don't like. But this is live, so we have to be careful. We have to think about things before we say them. I have a bunch of questions that I've gotten over the last couple of videos. And I just have them written down on the iPad, ready to go. But of course, if you have a question and you're jumping on live, please feel free to put them in the chat. Robbie's going to be watching them and he'll shout them out. We're probably going to go through these questions first. There's not too many, and then we'll move on to the ones that are in the chat. Like I said, please blow up the chat. Does not have to be OPTAVIA related at all. We like to hear questions about, anything. Questions about, anything that's not like what color underwear are you wearing? We wouldn't really want to answer that. But I guess we can go ahead and get started. First, I wanted to thank you guys so much. We actually hit 2,000 subscribers today. 2,000 people like to watch us. It's probably a lot to do with OPTAVIA, which is an amazing journey. So if you are on your OPTAVIA journey, your amazing OPTAVIA journey, congratulations for taking the first step to an optimal health. But we love hearing all about your amazing stories, and you're an inspiration to us as well. Let's get started though. Okay, so actually the first question is from Donna Galvan, and this question is for Robbie. She asks, why didn't you keep the toolbox that was in the back of your old truck? Robbie just got a brand new truck. If you haven't been watching these past this week of videos, we put out a video every single week. I hope that you saw them. This is from the video on Monday, number 1. Robbie, why didn't you keep the tool truck in the back of your old truck?
The reason I didn't keep the toolbox was we're actually, but mainly me. The toolbox is great, but I want to put a bed cover on it, like a rolling bed cover. That way, if we're taking long road trips, whatever, I don't have to stuff everything into a watertight container and throw it in the bed of the truck and worry about it getting stolen or beat up or rained on. With a full bed cover, you can slide it, close, lock it, and then everything in there is protected, more so than just, laying in the bed of the truck.
Cool. There's that. This next one was for me. Somebody's asking if I'll go over everything you get on an OPTAVIA plan, like in your first order, show what a monthly supply comes with. Are you able to order your own food, that sort of thing. So a lot of times on the first order, I'll tell clients it's pretty much easiest to get the kit just because they're going to give you the favorites of everybody who's been on program. But if you are somebody who knows that you're a picky eater, you can pick your own food. You can pick, if you want all shakes or all brownies or whatever it may be, you can pick that. Typically in your first box, you're going to get all of your food, of course, for 1 month. You're also going to get 5 free boxes. Now that becomes a part of your month, so it doesn't mean that you're going to get 5 extra boxes. Just 5 of those boxes are free. You will also get a guide that walks you through each and every part of the process. But of course, you also have your wonderful coach for that. Shameless plug for coaching. If you are a fellow coach, let us know in the comments. We love coaches. And you're also going to get a blender bottle for your shakes and then a couple of other little things, just some informationals and things like that. So that's what you get in the first month. They also want to know what my goal weight is. They want me to be very transparent. That would be a very long video. I've kind of explained a lot of this throughout my OPTAVIA journey, but I do need to do an update. So I will definitely do that, Donna. Thank you for asking. But my goal weight is actually 135. If I'm going to be super transparent, it's at 135, and I'm currently a little less than 10 pounds away from goal. So we're getting there. The last pounds are harder to lose, but we can definitely do it. So the next question is by Tony Corley. Which shake flavor do I mix with my coffee? Also, what are my top 3 favorite fuelings? I mix a couple different shakes with my coffee, but my favorite to mix is the mocha fueling. I don't know why. I just love mocha. But you can also mix vanilla or chocolate or peanut butter or caramel macchiato. I'm sure there's more that I'm missing. The ones that I probably wouldn't do is like a strawberry shake. That probably wouldn't taste very good, but if you want to do that, that's completely fine. And my top 3 favorite fuelings are probably the mocha shake, the brownie, because let's face it, one of everybody's favorites is the brownie. So, and then maybe I really like the s'mores bar. That's one of my favorites too. So they're definitely my favorite. The next question is by Cindy Holt. She says, what do you do for exercise, and do you have sagging skin after weight loss? So I'm a little embarrassed to say that I don't exercise as much as I should. We really don't have the time. We come home from work. By the time we commute back home, it's about 6 o'clock. We cook dinner. We go to bed early, like 9:30, 10 o'clock most days. We try and get to bed pretty early. And I also like to make sure my house is clean. So I'm doing laundry at night. Robbie's working on work when he gets home and things like that. And pretty soon he's going to be starting school. So I really don't have that much time. However, we have been trying to walk a little bit more, like in the evenings. And we tried to do a HIIT exercise, like a HIIT workout video, if you've ever heard of that, high intensity training, something, high intensity interval training, I think is what it's called. But we tried to do that the other day, and we just haven't found exactly what we love yet. We are trying. As far as sagging skin with weight loss, as with any large amount of weight loss, there is going to be some excess skin. However, there are ways to kind of prevent that. Drinking lots and lots of water helps. Typically, the amount of water that is recommended on program and in any program is 64 ounces, or your regular 8 glasses of water a day. But the more you drink water, the more elasticity your skin has, and then, can shrink back to its normal size. I've been big for a very long time. So I'll be honest, mine's taking a little bit longer to go back to what would be considered normal. I never really had a normal. I've been big ever since I was in elementary school. So it's definitely there, but I think about it in the fact that have the skin to show that I did the work than the weight that was so taxing on my body. So definitely that is a thing that some people deal with, and some people worse than others, but there's definitely ways to prevent that and deal with it when that does happen. But just think about the amazing hard work that you've done and take that as your trophy. Pam Kemper asks, how many condiments are you allowed a day on program? So you are allowed 3 condiments a day, and then depending on which protein you have, if you have one of the leanest proteins, you'd receive 2 healthy fats along with that. If you have the leaner, which is the second protein, you get 1 healthy fat, and just the lean, which is the lowest, you don't get any healthy fats. So 3 condiments a day, but you also get your healthy fats sometimes and an optional snack. This question is from Kelsey Ordway. Kelsey Ordway, I hope you're watching, because we have become friends on Facebook and I think on Instagram too, and Snapchat. So if you are somebody who likes social media, I'll leave my social media down in the link. Give me a couple days after this to get that all put into the description. But follow me on my social media, because I love to talk to y'all. But Kelsey hops on and we sometimes snap each other back and forth. Anyway, this question is for both of us.
Uh-oh.
She says, for the Q&A, can you tell us what you and Robbie make for his dinners if he doesn't eat what you make for yourself? Do you want to answer that?
Sure, I think I can mostly answer that. For the most part, no, all the time. We try and make things that we both know that we'll like, or at least that both sound good, that we would be interested in eating. There's been a few occasions where I've not been totally thrilled with something, but in that case, I'll try and eat, at least try and finish what's on my plate. And then if I don't like it, if it's a multiple serving thing, then the next time around, Mallory usually loves it. So she'll eat it, and then I'll either eat something else or, pick up food or something like that.
Right. We try to meal plan together. So we typically meal plan Saturday evening, Sunday morning. Heads up, there will not be a meals in the making this Thursday. We were so busy and got home a little later and didn't have time to do all that. So I will have a video coming out. It's just not going to be meals in the making. Sorry about that. Anyway, so we meal plan together. So I try and, think of things that I think he's going to like, but he is also really good about trying everything that I make. I usually get home a little bit earlier than he does because he works 15 minutes later than I do. So I typically try and have dinner on the table when he walks in the door. Does it happen all the time? No. Does it happen most of the time? Yeah. So I'll put, dinner on the table. He'll try it, and he does his best to finish it, like he says. If he doesn't, I have to remember that, he is a picky eater, and that's not his fault. Actually, I learned a statistic from one of my grandma's friends, Miss Hetty, that if you're a picky eater, it's because your taste buds are closer together and it's a burst of a bunch of different flavors. So it's not his fault. He'll typically try it, and then if he doesn't like it, like he said, I'll eat the next serving of it, and he just kind of finds anything that he wants. But he does a really good job on trying. So Rita Gray asks, what counts as a healthy fat, and how would I incorporate that into dishes? There's a lot more that goes into healthy fats than you would think. So you, of course, can have things like avocado and different oils, like olive oil, avocado oil, things like that. You can also have cream cheese. You can also have different types of dairy sometimes. It's all going blank. I do have a list of condiments that I use. It's like an extended list of condiments that I'll send out to my clients when they start. And then incorporating them, I incorporate them in all kinds of ways. So sometimes I'll incorporate them into fuelings, like if I'm gonna make a shake in the evening with like a brownie, so the DQ treat that I did on my fueling stack, I'll add a healthy fat, which is my cream cheese in there. So, but I most of the time will use it in my lean and greens. I hope that answered your question. Robbie, also from Rita, do you eat off-plan meals?
Yes. I'm not officially on OPTAVIA. Other than eating the lean greens, I don't really, I mean, unless I'm really hungry and she has a fueling handy.
He'll eat them, but
yeah.
He's not on program.
So I don't stay strict to it other than the lean greens. I do eat smoothie for breakfast a lot of times. And then I'll do something for lunch as well, usually, a smaller portion of something. My favorite is venison sausage and pasta, which is really good, and I love it. And, but yeah,
You eat off plan. He eats
yes,
off plan mostly for his
plan.
Meals too,
Yeah.
or his lunches. Dinner he's usually on plan, but lunches. And like, I don't love the oatmeal. I'll be honest with you. Ooh, scandalous. The coach doesn't like something, but I don't like the oatmeal. He likes the oatmeal, so sometimes he'll eat the oatmeal because I have some of it. The next one is from Miss Shawnee Poo. She says, you do a great job of keeping track of the fuelings, condiments, and lean greens throughout the day. Are you still writing it down? No. I've been on program now for 10 months, so it becomes kind of like habit, like, okay, I know that I typically eat the same things around the same time throughout the day. So the one thing that will change is my lean greens. I know that throughout the day, I typically don't use any condiments until I get home in the evening. And I usually know in the morning, like, oh, for dinner, we're having shrimp kebabs, and that's got 1 lean, 3 green, and 3 condiments. So I don't write it down anymore. Now, when I'm going on vacation, or if I'm going to be doing something that's not part of my routine, then I might write something down just so I can keep track of it in my head. But as of this point, I don't write it down continuously just because I've gotten really good at calculating it in my head. I do not recommend that for everybody, especially for people who are just now starting. It's a weird lifestyle. It's a different lifestyle. So definitely feel free to write it down. They even give you a guide in the back of the book, or they give you a journal in the back of your guide to write down what you have when, and even count your glasses of water. So I definitely recommend using that. I use that until I didn't have any more space. So OPTAVIA More Wise asks, for Sunday's Live, I would like to know how much further you are from transition and if you are nervous about going through transition. Like I said, I'm about 10, maybe a little less pounds from goal. They're the hardest to lose, I promise you, but it is so worth it. I am a little nervous about transition, not because I don't think it's going to work. It's been proven to work, and I've seen so many people who it has worked for, but I'm nervous about just like going through the process. Like I said, doing this for 10 months, it's easy. It's convenient. I do it every single day. This is going to be a change to my schedule, but like joining OPTAVIA and starting an OPTAVIA journey, that was also nerve-wracking too. So I'm nervous, but it's not keeping me from going through it. I'm ready. I'm ready to go through it. I'm ready to be in maintenance and be, living my new normal, because this has been my normal for the past 10 months. So nervous, but not terrified, if that makes sense. Bree Alexander asks, how do you track your fuelings, and do you make your own tracking or buy the books that come in the initial order? Like I said, I don't track my fuelings now. I did buy the books that came in the first order just because you have the option to not buy them, but the information in those books are so vital, especially when it comes to the transition and maintenance part of program, that it is crucial. And even the statistics in the very beginning of that book are so eye-opening. Like I was reading it at work when I first got it because I was so excited to start, and oh my goodness, I don't even remember some of them now because it's been 10 months, but they were just crazy, like crazy. The average, human in the United States eats over 22 pounds of sugar a year or something like that. It was something crazy, and compared to what it should be, stuff like that. But it also goes through the stop, challenge, choose, which can become very, very helpful when you're stuck in a temptation and a tempting situation, or somebody puts a piece of cake in front of you. So you stop, challenge yourself and ask, why is this tempting to me? Do I really need this? And then you choose, and then you stick with your decision. If you choose to eat it, make sure you're doing it because you want to and not because you feel like you have to. If you choose not to eat it, stick to that. So anyway, no, I don't track them. Yes, I bought the books. I think that they're very helpful. 2 more questions. Tiffany Davis asked, my food should be here tomorrow. I love fruit, and I never hear anyone talk about fruit on this meal plan. Can I have fruit? Good question. It depends on what plan you're on. If you're on the 5-in-1, we don't eat fruit other than what's in a couple of the bars and the fruit that's kind of in our shakes and things like that. Fruit breaks down into natural sugar, which is wonderful because it's natural sugar, but a lot of it can, throw you out of fat burn. So if you're on the 4 and 2-in-1, you are allowed to have fruit as a snack throughout the day. So it just kind of depends on the plan that you're on. And then once you transition out, you then can have fruit again. But I honestly don't miss it as much as I thought I would because I love the cranberry honey nut granola bar, and that has obviously cranberries in it. So you can still get your fruit fix every once in a while depending on which fueling you're eating. So the last question from the comments from previous videos is from Danny Joe. And she said, are there any of the frozen vegetable noodles on plan, like the Bird Eye brand? Good question. Yes, some of them are. It just kind of depends on what goes into it. So what we typically tell clients is, as long as you're eating straight zucchini or straight cauliflower or straight cucumber, I don't know, something that's on plan, you're not eating a whole bunch of, preservatives that have like sodium, that's jacking the sodium way up, and that's totally fine. If you have a question about noodles, like I was eating butternut squash noodles for a while, not on plan. Don't do that. Didn't know that wasn't on plan, not on plan. Don't do that. But if you have a question about anything, you can call nutrition support, which is 1-888 OPTAVIA. Do not call 1-800-OPTAVIA. It's not a good time. Call 1-888-OPTAVIA, and you'll be connected with someone from nutrition support, and you can basically be in the grocery store and read them off a label, and they can tell you how much of it you can or cannot have. So they're very, very, very helpful. Check that out. I use cauliflower rice constantly. If you watch my Lean and Green Meals in the Making videos, we use it almost every single week. It's great. It's very filling. It can be flavored in almost any way. So we obviously use frozen things all the time. Mm-hmm. It's just easier on time too. It may be a little more expensive, but it's just so worth not having to spend the time of chopping everything up. So that's all my questions from that. But it looks like we do have some other questions. Guys, thank y'all for hopping on. I'm just so excited that I was so afraid that nobody was going to hop on and ask questions. And that. Anyway, Robbie, we have some questions?
Yes. So Christy Hamilton asks, hey Mallory, I absolutely love your OPTAVIA recipe and hacks videos. Keep them coming, girl. My question is, when wanting sweets other than the brownie feeling, what is your go-to?
Oh, good question. My go-to, like I said, my brownie is my favorite thing, but I will make those DQ treats. So if you've watched that feeling hack video, the one with the peanut butter, the Reese's peanut butter cup shake, that's just a brownie and cream cheese. A lot of people wonder why I put cream cheese in that. It just makes it creamy. Makes it very, very creamy. It tastes more like you're drinking a milkshake and not something that's super icy. I can't stand when something is like very slushy and icy. I like it to be more creamy, like ice cream kind of thing. So that's what I definitely go to, is that shake hack. I'm trying to think what else I'll do if I am craving something that's sweet. You can also have sugar-free Jell-O and sugar-free popsicles. Sometimes I'll do that if I'm craving something sweet and don't want the brownie, which is hardly never because I love the brownie. Yeah, I hope that answers your question.
The next 2 questions are very tied together. Robert J. asks, have you designed an OPTAVIA hack for pizza? And Ali Mittenthal asks, where do you find your California cauliflower crust? I live in Cedar Creek area, and they're just asking where you find them.
About an hour from Dallas. Hey, welcome, Texas girl. So yes, Robert J. Sarvis. That's my future father-in-law. So yes, there is actually a fueling that's called the cheddar herb biscuit or the buttermilk cheddar herb biscuit. A lot of the times people will make that into a biscuit, cut it in half, add a little bit of Rouse's, R-A-O-S, pizza or marinara sauce on there, and add the mozzarella cheese. So that definitely can be a pizza fueling hack. As far as pizza is concerned in general, I get my cauliflower crust from CaliFlowerFoods.com. I think, Robbie, did you put it in the comments?
I can. I'm doing that right now.
Perfect. He's going to put the website. They have the cauliflower crusts. They are all program approved. As far as I'm concerned, there's 2 that are program approved, but this is definitely your better option. Counts as half a lean and all 3 green, and you get the entire thing. And they're not little. You can ask Robbie. Robbie eats them too. They're like this big. They're pretty big, very, very filling. Sometimes I have to go back and finish it later on, and they're super, super delicious. They always have deals going on where you can get, some kind of discount off, or they give you the free pizza pan or free shipping or something. So definitely check that out if you're looking for a pizza hack and you're missing pizza, because it'll be the best decision you've made since joining OPTAVIA. Anything else?
Sherry asked, do you ever shape cake?
I do make shake cakes. I love shake cakes. It's part of my first fueling hack video. I love the strawberry shake just because it tastes just like if you have, like strawberry cake icing. Tastes just like you're eating that out of the tub. I don't know if anybody used to do that pre-OPTAVIA, just take like a tub of icing and eat with a spoon. Not a good idea, but so delicious. So the strawberry shake tastes just like that. So I'll make that into a shake cake and then put a little bit of cream cheese with Splenda on top as the icing. You can also do it with chocolate. I haven't tried the peanut butter yet, but I feel like that would be pretty good. I'm like a peanut butter-aholic, so.
Nola Evans asked, how long did it take for you to go into fat burning after you started?
Good question. When I started, good idea, Robbie. When I started, I had a headache for a couple days, and I started on a Saturday. I want to say it took me about 5 days to get in. Now, hitting fat burn can take a little longer or a little shorter depending on what your habits were like before you started the program. If you maybe, like me, ate out every single dinner meal because you came home and were exhausted from the day and just laid on the couch. If you had like Chick-fil-A every night and Taco Bell every night, then it took me 5 days. It took me a little bit longer. If you're somebody who still eats pretty healthily, you eat your greens like you should, not like me, it may not take you as long. It just is how long it takes your body to flush the toxins and get into that fat burning or light ketosis stage. So I think it took me about 5 days.
Linda Esparza, no. Kelsey asks, is Robbie on OPTAVIA too? I know I'm not. We went over that a little bit earlier.
Hi, Kelsey.
I do eat lean and greens because they're usually pretty good, and I don't gorge myself on food when I really shouldn't. But no, I'm not on OPTAVIA. Next question is.
He's very, very, very supportive of it. Very supportive of it.
Next question from Linda Esparza. What was the hardest part when you first started?
Linda, good question. Thanks for hopping on. Probably the hardest part when I started was, like I said, I was eating out every single meal of the day, or not a meal of the day, every single dinner. And then my lunch and breakfast weren't that great either. It was like Pop-Tarts and pizza rolls. But so I think a lot of it was learning that it's okay to not eat out for dinner and it's okay to make dinner. Not that I didn't know that before, but like I said, I was so tired when I got home from work. Then I got the extra energy and that was much better. But for the first couple days, I think I literally made shrimp and broccoli because they were quick and they were easy and I didn't want to be cooking for hours. So that was probably the hardest part. But once I hit fat burn and I was able to start cooking on my own and I learned that you can venture out a little bit. The first week, everybody sticks to like shrimp and veggies, chicken and veggies, beef and veggies. But after that, you kind of like venture out. You'll find that you can pretty much make anything you want. You just have to make it program approved. And so I'll say, like in all of my meals in the making, if you have a plan or you have a recipe that you want to be program approved, drop it down in the comments and I'll go ahead and work on it for you. I had one last week that was perfect for a stuffed chicken breast that I'm going to start working on. So that was the hardest part for me, was learning how to venture out and make meals that I still liked, but I didn't feel like I was being deprived.
No account, or Gina, asked, do you ever freeze your pre-prepped hacks to take to work when you prep on Sunday?
First of all, thanks for hopping on. She is always on my channel leaving comments, and I love it, so thank you. I don't, actually, because I have a schedule. So in the morning, I wake up, I do my fueling hack with the coffee and the mocha shake and ice, and I blend that up. And then I have a bar at 9 a.m. or 9:30ish. And then at about 12 or 12:30, I'll have a brownie. And then in the afternoon at like 3:30ish, I'll have a cookie. And so I really don't have to freeze anything or do anything like that. Yeah, I'm sure you could. You definitely could. We went on vacation a couple weeks ago and I made some brownies and cookies to take with us. The one thing that I did not do that I should have done was I found it was easier to not put them in the ice chest, because when I did that, they froze and then thawed out, and so there was water. It was really, really gross. They got very, very soggy. So I recommend baking them a little bit longer than you would see on the package for like the oven or even in the microwave, and not putting them in a refrigerator, a freezer, or in a cooler. I would just leave them out. But there are certain things like those recipe, the Berry O Crunch cereal balls. Goodness gracious. Those I have in the freezer just because they harden up and it makes them a little bit, I don't know, they're more enjoyable that way. But most of the time I don't. Good question.
The next question is from David. What's the best diet to lose weight?
Well, I've been talking a lot about OPTAVIA from personal experience. I tried everything. I tried Weight Watchers. I tried Atkins when I was younger. I tried the HCG diet. I tried low cal. I tried low carb. I tried everything. And I just needed something that was very, very, not strict, but had everything done for me. It was very convenient. So I love that OPTAVIA was convenient. But I think it kind of is up to you and what your lifestyle is like. If you need something that's not quite so strict and doesn't have certain things that you need to eat, and you just kind of can stay within a calorie limit, and that's totally fine. If you're somebody who needs more structure, then OPTAVIA was great for me. I've told a lot of people this when people who have become clients or I've talked to about program. Before I started program, I was the biggest I've ever been. And I was really unhappy with myself. And I told myself the night before I started, I remember thinking, if this doesn't work, I'm done. I'm not going to put myself through this anymore of starting a program or starting a diet and then failing at the diet and then being mad at myself and then starting another diet and doing this yo-yo of losing the same 20 pounds over and over and over again and then just gaining it right back plus some. And I said, if this doesn't work, that's it. I'm just going to be big and overweight my entire life. And I'm so incredibly glad that it worked, because I don't know where I would be without that. So this was what worked for me, but you have to research and see what works for you. So.
Awesome. Linda asks, are there any perks to being a coach like other weight loss companies?
Perks. If you're talking about discounts, we do not receive a discount. And I kind of like that. A lot of people will talk about, pyramid schemes and things like this. We pay just as much as our clients pay for our food. Now, becoming a coach, you do get a little bit of commission sometimes, which can help pay for your food, but that's up to you. If you don't want to apply that towards your food, that's totally fine. We don't get perks. The one perks we do get, here's a little plug for coaching, is you're helping other people find themselves again, like you were able to find yourself. It helps, it's really wonderful to talk to people about something that you've accomplished and that's something you struggled with, if you're me, for your entire life, and you're talking to people who are in the same boat as you and letting them know there is hope. You can do this. You can lose this weight and become the healthy you that you've always wanted to be. That's a wonderful perk. The other wonderful perk is accountability. You're keeping yourself accountable because you want to be a role model for those people. So perks is in discount? No. Perks is in positivity and helping other people? Definitely. I know that was kind of a corny answer, but.
Awesome. Melissa Hernandez asks, how do you meal prep for both Robbie and yourself? Does he eat your lean greens? Yes, we meal prep together.
Hi, Melissa.
We do meal prep together. We do eat a lot of the same things, at least for the lean ingredients. Other than that, I'm on my own and I make food I like.
But you like stuff that I make.
Oh, yeah, no, I definitely do.
But he wouldn't know that he liked it. Like I said, he's really good about trying things. He will never say no before he tries it. Well, unless I give him like nachos because he doesn't like cheese. But, But even one time you had those I made bell pepper nachos. We should do that for meals in the making.
Ooh, that'd be good.
And he liked those. So he's really good about trying something and then saying, okay, no, I don't like this. Or, yeah, this is actually pretty good. We always kind of reevaluate. We eat something, we eat a dinner that's new, and we'll say, okay, is this something we would want to make again? Most of the time it's yes. Or we'll say, well, yeah, but let's tweak it in this way. So
we could grill them.
That'd be good too. Yeah, we've been loving our grill lately. So thank you, Uncle Jimmy, for letting us have it.
Let's see next question. Can you have espresso shots? That was asked by Denise Sells. Espresso.
Yeah, definitely. You can definitely have espresso shots. You just have to make sure that there's no carbs or calories in it. And as far as I'm concerned, there's no carbs or calories in espresso. I don't think there is. So yeah, have at it. One thing I do tell people is make sure you get your 64 ounces of water in, but after that, whatever you want. That's low carb, or that's 0 carb, 0 calories. So I love vanilla Coke Zero. As long as I get my water in throughout the day, I have my vanilla Coke Zero with dinner. I have coffee in the morning. That's totally fine.
Let's see.
Good question.
Marcia Johnson asks, how much have you lost? How long did it take to lose? And how much more are you trying to lose?
Good question. First of all, hi, thank you for jumping on. Wait, how much have I lost?
Yes.
I've lost 82 pounds. How long did it take me to lose it?
Yes.
10 months. And how much more am I wanting to lose?
Yes.
About 10 pounds. So yeah, 82 pounds in 10 months, about 10 pounds to go, and we should be pretty good. I've lost, like I said, it's getting harder because I've lost the majority of it, the bulk of it. It's just getting off those last couple of pounds. But thanks for jumping on. Thanks for jumping on.
Yes, Dad, no cheese.
What did he say?
He said, what? No cheese? Of course. Gina asked, did we get hurt on the slip and slide?
Oh my gosh. Listen, I look like an idiot. I look like an absolute idiot doing that. He's really good at it, except for that one time.
Yeah, I think that's what she's asking about.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That was kind of scary, but kind of funny now to watch.
I had a brilliant redneck idea to put a tarp under the far end of the slip and slide because I would keep going past it. And
he decided he was going to run and wasn't going to actually slip on his stomach.
Word to everybody that uses slip and slides, tarps don't have the same friction that a slip and slide does. They're a lot slicker. So yeah, be careful.
If you haven't watched that, I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called We Did It Again.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
We Did It Again. He slides on his feet and then falls on his back and his head. You see his head bounce off like the ground. It's pretty strange. But yeah, he had the biggest casualty there. I was a little sore because I could never get it right. But poor Robbie.
You need another question, Hannah. Has Robbie lost any weight eating the lean greens? No, I haven't lost any weight, but I have maintained, which I did notice before, because I started a new job that's very sedimentary, or sedentary, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, not sedimentary.
Yeah, I sit at a desk all day long, and I had noticed, based on my previous, where I had worked previously, which was, sitting at a desk working on stuff, that I had started gaining a little bit of weight. At this point, I have noticed that at least I'm consistent holding weight. So that's good. That's better than going up. I mean, before I'd worked, as a wire puller and a welder outside in, 115 degrees Texas heat. So I could literally go to Bill Miller's, which is a fast food barbecue place, eat a giant plate of barbecue food for lunch and for dinner, and not gain a pound. But I can't do that anymore. So I think eating the lean greens has helped me realize that I need to be more mindful of what I'm eating. So it's helped, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Melissa asked, how are y'all enjoying the new house and new truck?
You want to answer the truck and I'll answer
Yeah, that works.
We love the new house. If you've watched videos from the past, I don't know how many times I mentioned it. I don't want to say the word hated. I very much disliked that townhome. We called it our broom closet because it was so tiny. And we have 2 dogs. We have 1 tiny dog. We have 1 big dog. So when he got in the mood to play, get out of the way because he was going to knock you over, whether, even if he saw you there. So moving to this house has been wonderful for so many reasons. It's a duplex, but you would never feel like it's a duplex. We never hear our neighbors. We never, feel like we're living in half a house. It's amazing. We love it. We have a perfect size backyard for our dogs to run around in, and they do every single night. Our dogs have chilled out because of it, because they have that opportunity to go out and run and aren't always on a leash. So we love, love, love our new house. Still trying to outfit it where there's still things that we always will need. Everyone's always updating things. The next room is definitely my office. And so hopefully that will be done soon. But we love the house.
Definitely. Yeah.
It's all right.
Very funny. The dogs have definitely mellowed out. For instance, before we couldn't do this because Shiner would be on our laps. Right now, Shiner is currently curled up on the ottoman and he is sound asleep. So that
shows you how much he ignores us too.
Well, that's true. That is true. The new truck, I absolutely love it. It is a Dodge, so for you Ford guys, you just tune away, not pay attention right now. I love the truck. It's awesome. It's very surprising. It is a diesel. It's the Dodge Eco Diesel, and so we're averaging about yesterday. We were going down to the coast, going into a headwind. We're averaging about 22 miles per gallon. On the way back to New Braunfels, we made 24 miles per gallon. So that's very impressive for a 1500, truck, a Dodge 1500, because you can't. My old truck made 12 miles per gallon. So if that shows you anything, any difference there, then it's like, holy cow, that's crazy.
Tell them what we named it. The old truck was called Old Gray.
Well, we have two names for it. One is the Big White Marshmallow. The other one is the
big rolling marshmallow.
Yeah, I like Big White Marshmallow instead because it's a white truck. Let's see. Next.
Can you tell you really didn't like it all that much?
Oh, I love the new truck. It drives great. I apologize if I butcher your name. Shawnee Montesilo asks, "Hey Mallory, do you have cheat meals?"
Hi. Yes, I do. I do have cheat meals. And a lot of people are like, oh my gosh. No, it's not that big of a deal. Being on this program for a while, you sometimes need to change it up. Sometimes you have to test your resistance, I guess you could say. So yeah, I indulge sometimes. It's totally fine. But you have to be able to get back on. That's it. So having a cheat meal or an indulgence, as I like to call it, is totally okay. Everybody needs that every once in a while. It's your birthday, you're going to your own weddings, things like that. It's okay to do that. And it's even okay to do that on, just a day when you feel like you need it. But you have to remember that you're doing it for the right reasons and not because you feel like you have to. And then you have to remember that you're learning from this program portions, not proportions. You're learning portion size and you're learning that you don't do it all the time. So yes, I definitely have cheat meals even as a coach, but we all do that. We all let ourselves have it because being on this program is not supposed to deprive you of things. So you don't want to feel like I'm never going to have an ice cream is my downfall. I'm never going to have ice cream in my entire life. Well, no, you're just going to take it away from yourself for a little while until you get it under control. Then you can have a little bit of it, So yes, I definitely indulge.
Next question from Maria M. Are any of your friends or coworkers on OPTAVIA? How do you deal with going out to eat with friends and family?
Thank you for hopping on. Yes, I do have lots of friends and family who are on program. I don't know if my mom is watching this live. My mom's on program, and she was kicking and screaming. She was like, "I'm not doing this. No, I'm not going to do it." And I think a lot of it was she had seen me try and fail so many times that she was just waiting for the other foot to drop with this one. Luckily, it hasn't yet. I don't see it doing that. So she's on it. I have lots of friends who have seen me on Facebook posting about my weight loss, and they've been on it. I don't have any coworkers who are on it as of right now, and that's okay. But yeah, I have lots of friends and family who are on it. What was the second question?
How do you deal with going out to eat with friends and family?
Oh, actually, it's not that big of a deal. So if you're on OPTAVIA, you get this guide, or you can purchase this guide, or you can find the PDF of this guide. It's called the Dining Out Guide, and it is basically a what to get when you go to any restaurant kind of thing. So it has a list of fast food restaurants and a list of sit-down restaurants, and then it has, if you were at Jack in the Box, this is the salad you should get, something like that. So if I go out to eat, even if we go out to eat to a non-chain restaurant, I can look at something like, okay, we're going to a diner. I'm going to look at what I would have at Johnny Rockets or something. I don't know if that's a diner. Or Denny's, and I'm gonna get that just at this restaurant. So it gets easier. It's difficult at first and it's daunting, and I recommend looking at the menu before you go. And when you get there, don't even open the menu. Don't even bring yourself to that temptation. Just order what you have researched that you're gonna order. And then it becomes a lot easier too. You'll find that you can substitute things, you know which things are on program and not on program. But it is difficult the first couple times, but you'll definitely get through it.
Jay Hutchins asks, how much weight did you lose in your first 3 months?
Hi, Jay. My first month, I lost 28 pounds. By month 3, I think it was 40 pounds. I lost 50 pounds at Christmas time, right before Christmas. So it was probably around 40 to 45 pounds in the first 3 months. But I had a lot of weight to lose. I had about 90 pounds to lose, maybe a little more than that. And I love shrimp, so I was eating a lot of shrimp, which is the leanest of the lean that you can have. So I was eating a lot of shrimp. I was eating a lot of veggies, and just trying to be with like the lower carbohydrates. And I was very, very strict with it. I didn't have my first indulgence until probably March. So I started in September. So I was very, very strict with it, and I had a lot to lose. But I don't really love to tell people that. I'm being transparent. I don't love to tell people that I lost 28 pounds in the first month because they expect that. Well, a lot of the times they only have 28 pounds to lose. And so it just works differently with each person's body. And whatever you lose, 1 pound is a win in my book, because you have to think about the fact that you lost a pound in a week. You didn't gain that pound in a week. So losing that pound in a week is phenomenal.
Awesome. I believe at this point, here we go. Maria just asked another question.
I think it's Mariah.
Mariah, excuse me. I apologize.
It's okay.
How much exercise is recommended when on program? I really enjoy weightlifting, but am worried about overexerting myself, especially since I am on the 5-in-1 program.
Okay, Mariah, great question. So the first week to 2 weeks, they kind of recommend that you like lay it low, like stay home, watch a little Teen Mom, keep it easy, keep it, nice and you're not going to exert yourself too much. Then after that, you can add exercise back in. Things like weightlifting and stuff is totally fine. Just depends on how much you're doing it. So Mariah, if you want to weightlift and you feel like it's something that it's always going to help. You'll be toning as you go. There's nothing wrong with exercise and weight loss. Totally not. But talk to your coach. Because if you are doing enough exercise, you may need to be moved to the 4-2-1 plan. That's typically about 45 minutes of like extensive workout or hardcore cardio 4 to 5 times a week. So if you feel like you're doing that, you're burning, I can't remember how many calories it is, but you might want to speak to your coach because it's definitely doable and it's something you love to do. By all means, tone up as you go, girl. But just let her know so that she can tell you, you need to switch to the 4-2-1 or you're still okay to stay on the 5-in-1. But really good question. A lot of people wonder about that. Exercise is totally fine.
Melissa asks, now that y'all are in the real world, how do you still find opportunities to sing like you did in your fraternity?
First of all, I love OPTAVIA questions because it's what I do all day long. But I love hearing other questions too. And I love when I'll ask Robbie questions. And as much as he acts like he's really nervous, he likes it too. Anyway, we work 8 to 5 every single day, and with the commute, we're usually gone from about 7 to 6. But we love our old fraternity, and so things like we have a retreat they have a retreat every single semester, and it's usually out at my grandparents' ranch. So we're always out there with them during that time. Whether we're participating or not, it's still nice to be with them. We still perform sometimes, Robbie plays the trombone still, I sing still, not nearly as much as we used to. And a lot of the times, I think I miss that sometimes. Not all the time though. In fact, in our wedding, we're not having soloists and lots of music because music is our entire life. This is something we want to be about more than just music, which I don't know if people understand. But we get it, we don't want music we want music at the wedding, but we don't want solo after solo after solo, and because it's always been about music, Anyway, so we still find time to do that. We sing at Robbie's church, and he plays the trombone at his church sometimes. Sometimes I sing at my church back home. yeah, just little things like that. We make the time for it because we really do enjoy that kind of stuff. Good question.
How many clients do you coach? How long does it take to coach them each week?
How long does it take? Sounds like maybe you're thinking about coaching. I coach anywhere between 25 and 35 clients a month. And it's going to be different with each client. So some clients, they prefer to be text check-ins, which most of the time is okay, depending on the client. But a lot of the times, it's nice to have that like talking, phone conversation each week. So what we'll do is I do a check-in call for the first week for clients every single night, 3 to 5, maybe 10-minute call. And then starting after their week 1, we do 1 to 2 week check-ins. So we'll either talk 1 to 2 times a week, and then we move to once a week check-ins. And then some clients I have, they've been doing it for a while, so they understand and they just call or text me when they need me, kind of thing. We may talk, every week. We may talk every 2 weeks. We may talk every month. It just kind of depends on when they feel like they need me. I never want to be bothering someone. I don't want them to feel like I'm breathing down their neck. What are you eating today? What are you eating today? What did you eat today? No, that's not what I'm here for.
The cheeseburger with double fries.
I like when people come to me. Well, I don't like when people mess up. That's not what I'm saying. But when you feel like you've indulged or you've had an oopsie, it's okay. I always tell my clients, come to me. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about why it happened. I'm not going to judge you because we have all been through it. So typically, if you're asking how long it takes me to coach throughout the week, I probably put, I don't know, probably 30 minutes to an hour a day, maybe a little more on the weekends. So it's so, so, so rewarding. I love it. I absolutely love it. And some of my clients are on, and some of them ask questions and I can see them on here. So if you are my client and I am your coach, thank you so much for hopping on and supporting us. And I love y'all very much.
Sorry, we're bantering about trucks. Alan Gabbert.
Oh no, that's my dad.
Asks, does your auto insurance have free breakdown towing? You are prob gonna need it. ...
Yes, it does, Dad. We're good. We're good to go. Also, when we bought his truck, it came with that too.
Through because we bought it new. Also, for those of you that don't know, you can probably see in the comments, but Ford actually stands for something. It stands for fixed or repaired daily.
No. When did it turn into this?
Let's see. I think there's another OPTAVIA question. Let's see.
We're going to stay on for, I told Robbie we would do this for about an hour. So we're at like 48 minutes right now. So y'all feel free to keep asking questions. But we are loving this. Can you tell we love this? He loves to do the technical stuff. I asked him to set up all this stuff. You can't see the actual setup right now, but there's a ring light and a webcam. It looks really cool. And so I was actually talking to a client and I came out and it was all fixed and set up. So he takes good care of me, but he's really awesome.
You're welcome. Tony Corley asks, does OPTAVIA give you people to coach or are they only people that you sign up?
Good question. They are just people that I sign up. So people will kind of reach out to you. When I first started, I had a YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel started in May 2017. Yes, May 2017. And I just happened to post about it. I happened to make a video about it because I felt like it was going to help me with my accountability. And so at first I only coached friends and things like that. But now the majority of my clients are from YouTube. And I love that. I love coaching my friends and family, of course, but I think it's really cool that I've gotten to meet all these people from all around the United States. And I just find I make so many new friends. So OPTAVIA doesn't give me people. What can happen though is if somebody that's around me, that's in my area, reaches out for information about OPTAVIA, they'll send me their information and say, hey, this person wants to know about OPTAVIA. Or once you get on, you can actually go on and try and order or ask for information. You can actually put in Mallorie Gabbert, San Marcos, Texas. Still under San Marcos. I'm in New Braunfels now. You can put in Mallorie Gabbert, San Marcos, and it will send me an email saying, hey, so-and-so wants to know about program. So yeah, you kind of find your own clients. But once I started this YouTube channel, people were, okay.
There's actually a question later about why you got into vlogging.
Okay, but yeah, well, this YouTube has been really, really wonderful for my OPTAVIA journey. Anyway, yes, that's that.
Cool. Sheena Hansen says, Thank you. I just signed up to be a coach. So congrats to her. That's awesome.
Wonderful. Oh my gosh, how amazing. You will love it.
Mariah, I got your name right that time, hopefully. Asked, when are y'all getting married and how did you meet?
We're getting married this weekend, and
whoa! You didn't put that on my calendar.
No. Oh, did you already make plans?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to move it. We are getting married May 18th of 2019, and wedding planning is like in full swing. I didn't realize like before he proposed, I was like, man, it won't take too long. Oh my gracious, there are so many decisions, but I think we're doing a pretty good job. I think we've done a pretty good job. Most of it's done. I think most of the stuff that we can do now is done. We still have to do like cake stuff and flower stuff and things like that. But we met through Mu Phi, which is the fraternity that I was just talking about. Mu Phi Epsilon. Excuse me, he is the president. Mu Phi Epsilon, and we were both in the same class together. Oh, I'm gonna kind of give a little rundown. We were both in the same class, the same like rush class, I guess you could say, pledge class. And he was taken at the time, but all of the girls, there was 18 of us and 16 of us were girls. 15 of us were girls. We all thought Robbie was so dreamy, but he was taken at the time. And then I just waited along, I waited long enough and he became available. So I swooped in. Not really. That's not really how it happened, but that's how we met.
Let's see. Melissa asks, do you bring traveling measuring cups to work? How do you measure the water for fuelings?
I used to bring a tablespoon with me to work, and then I looked really funny and keep it in my lunchbox. Now I've gotten to where I can just eye it. I just kind of err on the side of a little less, more than too much, because then it's hard to like actually get it to make a brownie. But I just kind of eyeball it now. But I did keep tablespoons at work. I never really kept measuring cups at work because the only thing that I would need a measuring cup for was my shakes, and it has the measurements on the side of the cup. So that was fine. But yeah, I definitely did. Don't be embarrassed of it either. You're doing something good for your health, so don't be embarrassed of it.
Kelsey asks, there we go. Why did you start vlogging?
Good question. I was obsessed with two YouTube channels. Okay Baby, I don't know if y'all even know who this is. Okay Baby was one of my favorite YouTube channels, and then KK and Baby J. And they vlogged just their life, and I was like, how interesting. And I noticed that I wasn't seeing a lot of people in Texas. There was a lot of people in Utah that vlogged. There was a lot of people in LA that vlogged, in Florida, but there really wasn't a lot of people in Texas that vlogged. And I was like, well, I think I could do that. I think that's fun. And I kind of, used that. I started vlogging after I was in college, and in college, I got all my creativity out when I was singing. And so I could get on a stage and give it my all. Well, then when I got out of college and no longer sang anymore as much, I didn't really have an outlet for my creativity. And so I was like, well, I'm going to start vlogging. So I did. I started vlogging on my little iPhone, and then I got my big DSLR Canon Rebel T6i, and then I got what we have now. We still use the Canon Rebel T6i. Robbie uses it more than I do. But I got my Canon G7X Mark II. So I love it. It's been fun. It's been interesting to see people actually watch. A lot of it's OPTAVIA, and so I love to do OPTAVIA stuff because that's what people want to see, and I like to help people. But it's really fun just to vlog too, and kind of show like this really fun part of our life. And I also think it's really awesome. I'm talking a lot. I also think it's really awesome that one day when we have kids, they can be like, well, how did mom and dad, meet, and how did mom and dad get married, and how did dad propose to mom? Well, that's all on tape now, so they can see that. What are you asking?
I'm just messing around. Let's see. Gloria asks, or she says, I'm a new coach. Any tips for me on finding new clients? I'm not a blogger, so I'm having trouble finding people who are interested without seeming like I'm forcing a program on them.
Right. Like cold messaging and stuff. Yeah, I totally get it. It seems that way at first. I don't know if you've heard about the 3, 3, and 3. And actually, Gloria, I think you sent me an email, and I'm going to send you an email back with a video that really helped me when I started coaching. I'll send that to you because it explains a lot of how it all works. And you just got to keep doing what you're doing. Keep sharing it on Facebook. Keep sharing it with friends and family. And you won't feel, not even being like, oh my gosh, have you heard of OPTAVIA? You should be a part of OPTAVIA. Have you ever heard of OPTAVIA? No, people will notice, especially if you've had a pretty amazing transformation. They notice like, wow, and they're going to ask, like, how did you do that? How did you do that? Post pictures of you drinking your shake in the morning, or post pictures of you with your brownie fueling, or whatever it may be. And just kind of, people are going to ask questions, and it'll start that way. And then, maybe somebody starts and under you, and then they have a friend who wants to join. So then maybe they'll join, or maybe their mom wants to join. All of a sudden, it's like an avalanche. You work up this momentum. It's like getting something up a hill, and then it gets to the top of the hill, and it's just amazing. So it can be kind of discouraging at first, because you feel like you're kind of like pushing something that nobody really wants to hear about. They're watching you. Well, that sounds really creepy. They're watching. I promise they're watching. You just got to keep doing what you're doing, and they'll see it, because a lot of people are watching and waiting to see if it actually is successful. If you've been on program for a week, they're waiting to see what you're like at 2 weeks and what you're like at 3 weeks. And are you still doing this a month from now? So just keep doing what you're doing. Keep being positive about everything. And yeah, it'll all work out. It'll all be wonderful. Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to say.
Tony Corley asks, what do you each do for your day job?
You want to go first?
Sure. I'm an IT professional. I work at Texas State doing device management, helping manage all of the PCs and Macs on campus.
I'm an academic advisor, so I work with pre-nursing students who are trying to get into our nursing program. We talk about classes to take and how to better boost their GPA and how to better your application. So we both work for the university that we graduated from. Hi, Louise. Chelsea's going to come and join the video. And yeah, so we both work for the school that we've graduated from because we love the school. So
it's a good place to be.
Sit down. Nothing on my necklace.
This is a comment from somebody. Paula says, you've helped me so much, and you are such an inspiration. I've learned a lot from you and love the food dishes each week. Keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, thank you, Paula, and thank you so much for all of your sweet comments and messages that you send. I love hearing from you. Thank you. Glad that things are going well.
Tony requests another singing video.
I need to do that. I have 2 on my channel, but I think I just kind of like don't know what exactly to sing in high school. In college, I studied opera, but not very many people want to watch me sing opera. But I guess I really shouldn't care what other people think. So a lot of times I'll sing like Adele or a Christian song. So if you have any requests, definitely put those in the video, because I need to do that again.
Crazy Dude says or asks, he's new to the channel, or they're new to the channel, and they're wondering what kind of content you make.
Oh, well, welcome to the channel. I do all kinds of content, actually. You'll see that a lot of questions are asking about OPTAVIA. So I'm an OPTAVIA health coach, and I work with people who are clients who are wanting to better their health through weight loss, through healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances. So we work on that. So there's a lot of videos about that. But we vlog our weekends. We always vlog on the weekends. My upload schedule is Mondays. Mondays I always post a vlog, except for tomorrow. There will not be a vlog tomorrow. And then Thursdays is usually an OPTAVIA meals in the making, which is just lean and green and recipes, dinner recipes, healthy dinner recipes. But also I'll post things about, like girly things, like a subscription box unboxing is coming out soon. I'll do reviews. What else do we do? Singing videos, story time videos. We have dogs. Things like that. So thanks for watching and welcome to the channel.
Melissa asks, how do you balance working, vlogging, wedding planning, and being a coach?
Very carefully. Throughout the day, if I have downtime at work, like at lunch, or if I don't have a student, I'm working on wedding planning or reaching out to my clients to see, how things are going. And then I do a lot of vlogging on the weekends. Like I said, I always edit on Sunday evenings and Sunday afternoons. If we're going somewhere, I usually have my laptop with me and I'm editing in the car. Yeah, very, very carefully. I absolutely love vlogging and I love OPTAVIA, and so it's sometimes a little bit harder to not be able to do those full time, and we're working towards that maybe someday, but I do it during the day because I have to go to work. But when I get home, it's something I love to do. So it's more like a hobby. I hope that answered your question.
Tammy asks, is Puppy feeling better?
Is this Tammy as in Tammy?
Tammy Smith.
Hi, Tammy. Yes, Puppy's feeling much better. As you can see, she's very spoiled. Are you spoiled? You're not spoiled. She's spoiled. She's feeling so much better though. So.
This sounds like a perfect place to sort of, well, maybe not a great question to wrap it up on, but time-wise, we're doing pretty well. Danny Zero Joe asks, my coach hasn't been very helpful. I haven't talked to her at all since I started. Advice on having a bad coach.
I do get emails about this sometimes. So there's a couple different things that you can do, Danny. You can reach out. I don't know if you have. If you haven't, I recommend reaching out to your coach. You should have received their information, I hope. Reach out to them via email, via text message, via phone call, Facebook. Stalk them a little bit. It very well could be that they have just kind of checked out from coaching and unfortunately are still receiving the benefits of that. So if you feel like that is the case, you can definitely switch coaches if you have a friend who coaches or you know somebody that you would rather be a coach or you would like to pick somebody else in your area, you can definitely do that. There is a coach switching form. I don't remember exactly where to find it. If you go to the OPTAVIA website, you can type in the search bar like switching coaches or something, and they can do that for you. They will kind of ask you who you want to be your coach, and they may ask you why you're wanting to switch and things like that. Just know that that's going to come. But if you feel like you have a coach who's not really checked in and is completely checked out from OPTAVIA, that's obviously something that the company doesn't want because this program is built on support and the coach and just the support of the community. So I definitely recommend, if you cannot get in touch with her, get out of the situation by switching coaches, because I would hate for you to miss out on an amazing opportunity because your coach has not reached out to you or been there for you, because that's not right. Okay, do we have one more question? I feel like I kind of ended that like on a salty note. Maybe not. Okay. Well, Robbie, is there anything that you want to say? We're now at 2,000, you guys. We hit 2,000 subscribers today. Love your channel. Thank you for sharing your lives and for all the great info. Hope you'll have a great week next week. Good night. Y'all are so incredibly sweet. Thank you so much for your sweet words and your sweet comments. You have no idea how many times I'll say, hey, Robbie, you'll never believe what somebody put on our channel today, or somebody sent me an email today. Maybe I should start putting your email on the description.
No.
Right, you get nice stuff. Anyway, so thank you guys so much for hopping on today. Like I said, I was super, super, super surprised at all the people who have jumped on and asked questions. I really was afraid it was just going to be like, maybe 2 questions were asked live, but we've been doing this for an hour. So you guys are amazing. And we want to thank you for everything, for subscribing. Don't forget to send things that you'd like to see on the channel. Like I said, we vlog and do meals in the making, but we definitely do a lot more. So thank you guys.